Because the weather report indicates we may have freezing tonight, I've gone ahead and decided to drain the system, do the quick drain so that I don't run the risk of any damage happening to my sprinkler system. I've gone ahead and come back down to the shutoff valve to the sprinkler system, and I'm going to shut that off. Again, shutting the water off, the valve should be perpendicular to the pipe. Now some people, like in this house, can go ahead and open the drain cap. Typically, I recommend that it just be loosened, and if you require something to be placed underneath it to catch the water, generally a couple of cups of water are going to come out once we break the vacuum. Right now it's under a vacuum, so it's not going to drain until we introduce atmospheric pressure, and it'll begin to drain here in the basement. Some folks decide that it's okay just to let the water hit the floor, as in this house, because there's a drain right next to the water heater, and it hits the floor and goes right to the drain. Others may want to put a bucket underneath the drain. Now that the water's been shut off, you noticed when we were in the basement, no water really drained out of the pipes. That's because it's under a vacuum, and it won't drain until we reconfigure the device to its winterized or quick drain position. The way that that's done is simply by turning the two shutoff valves to a 45 degrees, half on and half off, and that's recommended by the manufacturer of all ball valve devices, because if the valve is all the way on or all the way off, water can get trapped behind the ball valve, freeze, and split the valve. Once we've turned these two valves to a 45 degrees, we'll want to take our flathead screwdriver and open the two test cups. Now that you can see the pressure's being released, atmospheric pressure is now allowing the water to drain. There may be an event where you need to do the quick drain, but the storm has already moved in, and you were at work and unable to get home. So you'll want to do the quick drain as we've done here. And again, if the valves don't turn, don't force them. You may need to just get a couple of buckets of warm water just to thaw that out enough to move the valves into the location that they need to be. And as an extra safety precaution, Green Guys installs a drain valve right here at the bottom of the backflow device. That just allows water to escape when it's partially frozen. We want to remove as much water as we possibly can, and if it's already freezing, we want to be able to remove that water as closely to the backflow device that's exposed to atmospheric conditions. Typically, I don't use that, but it's installed as an extra safety precaution in the event that the storm, it's already freezing. In a Green Guys installation, we have an automatic drain placed in the valve box. So once the backflow device has been configured in its quick drain or winterized position, this pipe and the manifold in the ground drains automatically. Not every system is that way. Some systems require that you get into the valve box and open the manual drain manually, and then this side will drain. So you'll always want to check whether or not there's a manual valve in the valve box. If it's a system that we installed, it's not something that you need to worry about. You have now completed the quick drain. In the event it was installed by someone else, you'll need to check to make sure that it either drains automatically through an automatic drain, or you open the manual drain, because if you don't, this will remain full of water and is at risk of freezing. And if it freezes and breaks like this one has at one time, then you're into a repair. Once the backflow device has been configured properly on the outside and the vacuum has been broke, much like the example that I gave with your finger on the end of the soda straw, you can see that the water begins to drain. This draining of water shouldn't take very long. Some sprinkler systems do not have ball valves. They have gate valves. Gate valves do not meet code. One of the problems with a gate valve is it doesn't provide for a positive shutoff as a ball valve does. And you'll want, each time that you do a quick drain, you'll want to build confidence that the valve is completely shut off. By the draining of water will completely stop. In the event that you have a gate valve that doesn't seat properly, which does happen, and you return the cap back on, and it will continue to fill the pipes back up slowly, and at some point it will freeze and cause damage.